Okay, we are recording, and recording. Okay, let's get started. Hey guys, I'm Shane Lenz, and welcome to the very first episode of The Strike Zone, my pilot episode, if you will. For those of you close to me, you know that starting up a fishing channel is something that I have really wanted to do for a while now. It's something that I've put a lot of effort into. It's something that, quite frankly, I've put a lot of money into. And most importantly, it's something that I plan on putting a lot of myself into. So for this very first video, I really just wanted to take a seat in front of the camera and be a little bit vulnerable and open up about why it is that I chose to create the Strike Zone. Central Wisconsin is where I call home. And in my opinion, it has a very underappreciated beauty about it. Most people think of it as a place with cornfields, cows, a staggering amount of white-tailed deer, and more cornfields. But it's a lot more than just that. These are the waters where I found my purpose. Where I have caught hundreds, maybe even thousands of fish. I've gotten up before the sun, and I stayed long after it set. I fished in 100-degree days, 20-degree days, sunny days, rainy days, windy days, snowy days, days where the weather literally made me fear for my life. But that's just who I am. It's who I've always been. When I find something that I'm passionate about, okay, something that seems to give me purpose, I just lean all the way into it. Every time. I've been fishing for a pretty long time. At least long enough that I can't remember when I started. But I do know that it was my dad that got me into it. When I was younger, we used to take family vacations every summer, and there was always fishing involved. My dad, my mom, and me. Honestly, I don't think a year's passed where we haven't gone on a fishing vacation. And when I say fishing vacation, I mean a fishing vacation. Like 10-hour days on the water, 7 days straight, rain or shine, it did not matter. We were out there. And that, I think, is where my passion got started. And since then, it's just developed even more. I told a lot of people close to me about my intention of starting up the Strike Zone, and for the most part, everybody was 100% supportive. But there were those who asked some of the much needed harder questions, such as why? Why record yourself fishing? You want to be a social media star? You want to tell people to like, comment, and subscribe? And honestly, no. I don't ever want to use those words on my channel. But the question, why record yourself fishing? That was the right question. And it got me thinking about the why behind all of this. And ultimately, I came up with 3 main reasons why I created the Strike Zone. Reason number 1 is simple. Every day that I go out on the water, I get to capture a moment and a memory on camera. And I get to relive that memory over and over and over again. I get to watch myself pull in that 6-pound bass again. I get to hear the excitement in my voice when I hook up with another 30-plus inch northern pike. I get to recap every experience that I have out on the water from my couch at nighttime. I mean, it is literally my own personalized version of Fish TV. The second reason is more based on logic. Okay, I want to become the best fisherman that I can be. And they say that there is no better way to learn than to teach. So that's what I plan on doing. I plan on making specialized fishing videos that focus on specific tactics and techniques, and then actually putting those to practice. I don't want to just tell you where to find bass during the pre-spawn. I want to show you where to find them. I want to show you the kinds of structure and cover that you should be looking for. I want to show you what kind of lures I'm using and show you how to use them correctly. And I think that all of this studying and the preparation and the practice that's going to go into making these videos ultimately is going to make me a better fisherman in turn. And let's be honest, there's somebody out there right now who's at the starting line of their fishing journey, okay, and doesn't know where to begin. And maybe it's one of my videos that helps give them the push that they need to get going. And that would be awesome. But at the end of the day, the final reason, and the main reason really, why I chose to create the Strike Zone is because, in my experience, it is incredibly difficult finding something that you're passionate about in this world. It is 2025, and the possibilities for humans are basically endless. I mean, we literally have the world at our fingertips. And yet, when you think about it, and I mean really think about it, how many things are you passionate about? Like truly passionate about. Not just things that you like to do, but things that you need to do. Things that seem to give your life purpose and meaning. And I know that to a lot of people it'll sound ridiculous, but for me, that's what fishing is. It's passion and it's purpose. Like a lot of people, I have spent basically my entire adult life dealing with depression. And it's not something I'm really quick to open up about, but there is no doubt that it has caused some not so great memories and not so great moments and not so great feelings. But when I'm out on the water, all of that goes away. It doesn't matter how bad of a day I've had. It doesn't matter if I'm mad or sad or anything in between. Because at that point, all I can think about is the next cast, and the next fish, and the next moment. And sometimes it's crazy to me, but fishing, just one simple thing can turn everything around. And ultimately, that's why I created the Strike Zone. Not just because it's my passion, but because it's a collective passion. Because there's people all around the world who love fishing and need fishing. And I'm one of them. And if I get to live out that passion by doing this, then I'm all for it. The Strike Zone is the perfect name for my channel. Okay, and I'll tell you why. I know that there's a lot of people out there that are going to associate the Strike Zone with baseball, but the reality is that it's a fishing term as well. Okay, if you're a bass angler, you may have heard it once or twice before, maybe from one of the pros on tour or an article that you've read. But essentially what it refers to is the distance that a fish is willing to travel in order to hit a lure. Okay, so that aggressiveness level, right? As you might expect, that is an incredibly difficult thing to determine because there are so many different factors that come into play. You've got environmental factors such as water temperature, water clarity, sky conditions, wind conditions. And then you have behavioral factors as well. Okay, so a fish might bite your lure because it's hungry, right? Other times it might bite because of a territorial instinct during the spawn period, or maybe just a general territorial instinct throughout the year. Other times you'll get a reaction strike. Sometimes it'll bite just because it's curious. And that's something that you have to remember about the Strike Zone, is that it is something that is constantly changing over a period of time, whether that be over the course of a week or over the course of a day. But honestly, that's why I love the name so much. Because to me, it encompasses every aspect of fishing and ultimately leads to the one thing that every angler is looking for. And that's to feel the jolt of adrenaline when there's a fish on the other end of the line. I'm incredibly excited to see where this channel takes me. For the first year or so, I plan on focusing on just producing as many fishing videos as possible and really getting used to the editing process as well. Anybody who has done an extensive amount of editing before knows exactly what I'm talking about when I say that it is a grueling and time-consuming process, to say the least. So I really want to practice on that and hone in my skills there as well. I do have a lot of different video ideas planned for the future. And I know I said that I would never say like, comment, or subscribe earlier. And I'm going to hold myself to that, I promise you. But with that being said, if there is anything that you want to see me make, okay, specific content you want to see me create, please do not hesitate to comment and let me know. Or just find some way to let me know. Okay, I'm always down for trying something different and learning something new and really just getting out there, studying, preparing, and learning more about a new topic. And then hopefully relaying that information onto others as well. To be honest with you, I actually think I'm most excited to learn about topics that I know nothing about. I guess the more you know, the better you're going to be. Right? To end my first video, I just want to say thank you. Thank you to my friends and family who have been incredibly supportive of me throughout this process. I am fully aware that the idea of starting up a YouTube channel comes with a lot of eye rolls. But the reality is that I never would have made it this far if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you. Also, thank you to anybody who watched this video or any other video that I might post in the future. Hopefully it provides some good entertainment and some good information for you guys. But honestly, whether I get 1,000 views, 100 views, or 10 views, I'm just really grateful to be able to share some of my best moments out on the water. You know, maybe help somebody learn something new, learn a little bit myself, and ultimately to share my passion and my purpose. So with all that being said, let's get out on the water.